giving up about 4 goals less per game than they did last season. You look at the difference in the face-off numbers from a year ago. They're plus 20% in that department. And what that's done, it's allowed them to play less possessions on defense. They've been fresh late in a lot of close games, and that's helped out Gary Gait and his crew.
And the opening face-off is going to be won by Notre Dame, by Will Lynch. And we're underway here today. 12th goal of the campaign, and gets the orange on the board first here. Violation in Syracuse, and Notre Dame possession here early on. Another great
Oregon, Notre Dame head coach, he said during their bye week last week, they worked on getting a 3rd midfield unit. I mean, I can't even imagine. That's like so old school. That's like 1960s lacrosse, using 3 midfields.
Hey, they're so deep. Gray with just his 4th goal of the season, though, and it's now.
I like the fact that they looked at that. You know, there have been some cases in February, Mike. I thought that video review was a little frivolous. That was needed, and they got it right.
Yes, especially when it's number 1 versus number 3. You're absolutely right, and the goal counts, and Notre Dame with a 2-1 lead. And to your point about the second midfield there, in face-offs for Notre Dame, already 2 violations for Syracuse as well here, and it's going to continue in the favor of the Irish. Now 5-0. They win the face-off. They've had goals by Riley Gray, 2 of them, and then Ramsey, who you just saw. Finn Thompson had the first goal of the game for Syracuse to get the scoring started, but it's 3 in a row here.
But he couldn't cleanly track it. Burt Whistle is a lethal shooter.
Kohn finally wins the face-off here for Syracuse. First of the day, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. That's big, as they have it back and a chance to tie here.
Yeah, the ball handler, Drew Bergmasters, 27. Adam leaving a man open. It's an easy little step down and shot. That's exactly what Notre Dame does not want to do defensively.
And that is the 3rd face-off violation for Syracuse here in this first quarter. So that's going to result in a 30-second extra man opportunity here for Notre Dame.
This distance.
Well, it was Chris Kavanaugh that had the assist. They beat you one way or the other, either scoring or assisting. It's been a phenomenal combination, 4-3.
At Kavanaugh.
Well, you said it, relentless. 39 seconds in between goals here, and Will Lynch got sandwiched there for Notre Dame. The face-off, he's going to come up with it anyhow. 8-1 now. Face-offs in favor of Notre Dame. And we are under a minute to go in the first.
And all of a sudden, this game's got a...
It's out of control. 2 goals in a minute and 3 seconds. 95 for his career. He's just the 3rd player in program history to reach the 200-point milestone. And what a way to end the first quarter for Notre Dame, with 3 in a row to take a 6-3 lead to the second. It is number 1 versus number 3 here today. We were tied at 3. Start of the second quarter here today from South Bend, Indiana. It's been a tough start for Mason Kohn for Syracuse at the X. He comes in, you see it 62% on the season. But how about the improvement of Lynch, though, for Notre Dame, Quinn?
You know, last year he's around a 50% guy. Now he's a junior out of Rockville Center, Long Island. The emotional maturity that he's bringing to the table this season, becoming a student of the game. Effort on 50-50 balls, but the time spent in the film room, studying referee cadence and really tracking the whistle. Will Lynch is one of the most improved players in the nation.
Well, it's shown so far here today with an 8-1 lead at the faceoffs. They have capitalized on them, and there was 3 violations in that first quarter by Kohn, resulted in an extra man opportunity in which Notre Dame capitalized, which is what they've pretty much done all season long. 15 of 18 with extra man opportunities here in their 7th game of the season. Let's see how the second quarter gets underway.
And now the challenge for Mason Kohn, as he easily wins that, is to take a deep breath and say, you know what matters? And he capitalizes on the goaltender being a little antsy. Great body control by Luke Roa, the sophomore.
And Notre Dame has done a really nice nice job, though, this season of taking care of the ball. They have the fewest amount of turnovers in the ACC, third in the nation per game with just 13.5. They got 5 so far here today. And Syracuse getting that goal after that turnover. So it's back to a 3-goal lead here. Just over 3 minutes gone by in the second. And the face-off won by Kohn. So starting to pick it up a little bit now here for the Orange. We got knocked down a stick.
Nice check by Will Donovan, 81 in white, the sophomore from Connecticut. He's a winger, he's a scrapper on these face-offs.
Good for him, 3rd goal of the year. Yeah, I mean, you said it, you know, Quinn, you're right. You can talk about Cavalons all you want, but I mean, it's not just those two. I mean, there's an unbelievable amount of talent on this team. As you said, the amount of lines they can go with.
And now you get a timeout. That play right there, that face-off play, I don't know if we'll show it again. Mason Kohn does a great job using his body. Good. Has to be released before the zeros, so no challenge, and the goal is good.
Yeah, great job, guys, in putting that together. It's 9-5 here. And, oh, off the face-off, Lynch. Will Lynch scores it. Four seconds.
The most improved Fogo that I've seen in the country this year. The emotional maturity to ride the waves of success and failure. Remember, he ran first midfield at Chaminade in Long Island, one of the nation's premier private Catholic schools. And so he's a real lacrosse player. He's become a Fogo in college. 50% last year, and now he's hovering around 65%. He is just putting it all together. Will Lynch.
2nd goal of the season. And that really hurts. I mean, you know, you're Syracuse, you're battling through, trying to keep this within striking distance, and then all of a sudden you give up 2 goals in 4 seconds. One as the shot clock was expiring.
Top of the arc, changing directions and just constantly putting pressure on his defender. Face-offs have been a strong storyline here. Will Lynch, surprisingly, has dominated this matchup. 22 in white, Will Lynch. Not only that, but he scored a goal 4 seconds after a Chris Kavanaugh goal. So when this game was 3-3, you felt like Syracuse had every chance, but next thing you know, the Irish are getting production from a lot of different guys. Look at the shot differential, doubling up. Notre Dame with that possession advantage, doubling up in shots. Offense for Syracuse has been sold separately. Spallina, 0 goals, 0 assists, as many turnovers as shots. It just hasn't been good for Gary Gait in the Orange.
Yeah, and how about a number that's not on there's caused turnovers? That Notre Dame has 9 of them of the 11 Syracuse turnovers from this first half. And you see it.
Improvement here. They're looking, hey, let's do better in face-offs. Let's defend a little better. It's not like Notre Dame's defense is blowing me away here, Mike. Notre Dame's made some mistakes on defense.
But their offense with 10, almost 11, the save there made by Will Mark.
Shot. Great hustle, great hustle. Closest to the ball when it crosses that line is going to be awarded possession. Now, you can't be out of bounds. And that's what John Moderna there in the white sweater is arguing, that the Notre Dame player actually overran that. They lined up a scoreboard. The question is, how do they get this Notre Dame defense in motion?
You said about that pickup off the ground ball there and the assist. It was Finn Thompson that fed it to him.
Great catch, right? He just makes that look easy. That's a short hop. That's not easy. The ball comes out there with spin.
Correct.
He gets it in his pocket and seamlessly just dishes it. And that's what you get when you go out playing indoor lacrosse. There's just so many of those handle situations.
And Q, knowing where you want to go with it right after you get it too, right? I mean, he already saw.
Defensive player for clamping down on that defensive player's stick.
Agreed, Quinn. That's why I was like, why is he just using the one arm here? That's because the other one was being held up, and Taylor still scores it. That is now 9 different goal scorers for Orange. That slide comes over, right, Q, and they go away from Taylor. And Kavanaugh, he's seen it all. He's like, boom, easy goal. Like, what can you do there? You gotta stay on Taylor, or then let Pat beat you. I mean, it's so tough.
I like the way to play at the pro level. You're looking at 2 goalies on Clark's list.
PLL College Draft, May 7th, 7 o'clock p.m. We'll have it for you on ESPNU.
I'm having lunch with Brian Holman, head of the Boston Cannons, later on in the week, just to chat. It's always interesting to get the pros' view from a dodging, passing, and scoring standpoint. He is a weapon. To me, he's one of the reasons why this offense has taken a giant step forward this season. Party starter supreme. Automatic double team. You got to send it to Jordan.
I don't know how you cover this team. Right, that was awesome. And number 2 Virginia moves.
There's not much cross-pollination between leagues now, as league play has started across the country. That's why Tuesday's game, Syracuse at Cornell, is so important when you think about impacting the RPI. From point-blank range.
Yeah, just a second goal in the last 15 minutes for Syracuse.
They're hanging around, though.
Like feast or famine here at Syracuse are scoring today. They had 2 goals in 15 minutes. They just scored 2 goals in 55 seconds. And the face-off violation.
Here they come now. And their bench is perked up.
What has got into the Orange now? 3 goals, 3 straight in a minute and 33, but the face-off won by Will Lynch. Good job to break it up.
Important position has answers.
That was so big, that last one he just put in. Syracuse had those 3 in a row goals that you just saw in a minute and 33 seconds. But then that big one from Dobson.
Leo with a good burst of speed.
Couldn't have asked for anything better coming out of that timeout. Now they win the face-off. Where they have not been good today. They were 20-8, but getting them at the crucial times, and this obviously being one of them with 2.5 to go. And the ball with a 2-goal deficit. Spallina. Joey Spallina's got it. For English.
Oh, it was